'cause the music makes me high. And if I only got one more night, I'm gonna leave out loud goodbye.
This gonna be the type of night they make movies about. Bitch niggas get
What
drugged
up?
out.
What up? What up? It's your boy, Mr. Von. Mr. Von Channel Sweatbox. We back. We live. We active here on the channel. Yes, indeed. You know how we do. Still dodging those digital jabs, baby. Let's talk about The Last of Us. Episode 3. Man, this show just continues to impress. Continues to break records. It continues to be a juggernaut of a show. HBO continues to strike gold every week with this show. I mean... So, spoiler alert, I'm absolutely going to be talking about things that happen in the game and things that happen in the show. I'm going to be talking about it. So, episode 3 is we get the Bill story. We get the Bill and Frank. Is it Frank? Anyway, I think let me make sure. In the game, we meet Bill, and he's just a MacGuffin to help us get the car. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He helps us. That's all he is. I mean, it's a long, drawn out process. We kill a lot of people. As far as what we get of his storyline, it's very much hinted at that he's gay. In the storyline that we get in the game, it is very much hinted at that that him and Frank was in a gay relationship. Well, this on the TV episode, we get the full fleshed out backstory of him and Frank's relationship with a very, very different ending than we got in the video game, in the game. Because in the game, Bill just says, my partner Frank's gone missing and we need to find him. And then when you find him, and that's when you go on when you help him find him, you go on a mission to get the stuff for the car. You get the stuff for the car, and then that's basically the mission. And then you find Frank. You find Frank hanging. You find his body hanging after he didn't been bitten and all that. And then you find a note where he's talking about how much he hates Bill, and that's why he had to leave. And in the show, they totally stretch that out and they expand on that completely. I mean, that's when they do fight. It says basically the same reason they fight, but it doesn't go to the extreme of Frank leaving, and obviously he doesn't get killed in that way. He doesn't get killed at all. He just dies of semi-natural cause. I guess that could be considered natural causes in the apocalypse when there's crazy fungus-headed zombies walking around. If you die from cancer, yeah, I guess that's natural cause. It's crazy though. The whole episode. First of all, let's just give my man Ron Swanson is just the best. I know that's not his real name. I forget his name. I'm not gonna look it up. But you know who I'm talking about. Because that's basically, like I said, if you're a fan of Parks and Rec, how he played Bill is basically an extended version of Ron Swanson. It's like, this is what would happen if Ron Swanson was left to his own devices and unchecked. This is what he would become. He would become Bill. So that was hilarious, and that's why he was Nick Offerman. Thank you. That's why Offerman was perfect to play Bill. Yeah. So this episode was awesome for that. How they expanded the story. But this is what I also love, because this was a longer episode. This was like an hour 10-minute episode, hour 15, something like that. But we still got a lot of backstory. We still got a lot of time with Tess and Joel. With Ellie and Joel, especially coming off the heels of Tess's death. We get the scene of Joel down by the river where he's stacking the rocks. It was really well done. We get the scene where Ellie's like, hey man, I know you're mad, but don't be mad at me. You're the one who chose to go on this mission. I didn't make you go. It's not my fault what happened to Tess. And then that's where we get the scene from that's almost verbatim from the game where he's like, look, don't talk about Tess. In fact, let's not even share backstories. Don't tell nobody about your condition. We have that whole conversation It was great. I mean, it was great. The way they're doing this, it's great. We get the scene where Ellie and Joel are walking, and they see the down plane, and you you get the sense of how jaded Joel was about flying versus how cool Ellie seems it would be to, man, you were up in the sky. This is the thing that I really do appreciate, is they're really playing up the fact that Ellie's been living her whole life in confined areas. She doesn't know. She's never been in a car. She's never been in a plane. She's never played a video game. You know what I'm saying? Her reaction to all of these things is to seeing the plane crash, to be in a car and be like, yo, it's like a spaceship. To seeing the Mortal Kombat machine, it was all very, very relatable. Even for somebody who hasn't been through that, I can still relate to it. Yeah, I can see. Okay, I can see how that would be like that for her. So all that was very good, and Bella Ramsey's doing a phenomenal job. It's great. And now even in this, you can start to see Pedro Pascal. You can start to see Joel start to soften a little bit. You know what I'm saying? When he's telling Ellie about how the virus spread, or excuse me, how the fungus spread. You can tell he's starting to get how he didn't want her to see the skeletons of the humans that were executed by Fedra. You know what I'm saying? So you can see that softness is slowly starting to, but you know what I'm saying? It's still a lot there. It's still a lot there though. And then it was another great transition when you see the skeleton of the lady and the kid. You're like, oh, that's a kid, and then transition into the lady holding the kid, and you're like, oh no, boom, and then that's the introduction to Bill. He's in his basement. Nick Offerman just again crushes it. You know what I'm saying? The whole relationship with him and Frank was very well done. How they're able to span an entire lifetime, see them go through the ups and downs of their relationship, see the flashback where they meet Joel and Tess, have them over for dinner and all that. That whole scene with Bill and Joel was like, Joel's like, I get it, bro. I don't trust nobody either. We cool, but you gotta get that gun out my face though. I love it. It's great. Frank and Tess just hitting it off. He's showing it around the house. Just the facade of them living a normal life, trying to have some sense of normality, eating dinner on the lawn. It was great. You know what I'm saying? I loved it. I love the whole thing, the whole scene of Bill taking over the town, getting whatever he wants. I thought that was all excellent. It was just so well done. Yeah. So very good. It was all really well done. Him still in the boat, filling it up with gas. Him getting a big ass generator, him going to Home Depot, just getting whatever he needs. You know what I'm saying? And then finishing it off with him eating the steak dinner, watching the zombies get murdered. That was a great scene. He's like, that never gets old. I was like, oh man, it was great. It was just great. And then, like I said, the whole transition of him and Frank's life together. Him trading when Frank trades Joe a gun for some strawberry seeds. The whole scene with the strawberries. The whole scene where the Raiders, Joel warns him, the Raiders are going to come. They're going to come at night. They're going to come armed. Sure enough, they do. My man Bill was out there savagery. His whole setup, he had the sparks flying and then they unleash the gas that turns the flames on. Come on, man. Leave the gas on. The fence will kill the rest. He's out there in the middle of the street just yakking him with the rifle, with the scoped up rifle. I'm like, come on, man. Bill was a savage. But Frank held him down. I said, we thought Bill was going to die. Frank was like, no. And then the transition of 10 years later. And it shows Bill and Frank have had 10 years. And now Frank is falling ill with what we presume is cancer, maybe something else. We'll just say cancer. He's falling. You can see he's getting sick. Bill's getting old. And then it ends with Frank like, I'm done. We're going to have one night together. You're going to crush up these pills, put them in my wine, and then I'm gone. I'm out. And Bill's like, all right. Then they go through the whole process. After the dinner, he crushes up the pills, gives them to him. He drinks his wine. Bill drinks his wine. He's like, what's going on? He said, I put enough in the bottle. To kill a horse. We going out together, son. And then he just rolls him into the room, closes the door, and then and now we're caught up we're caught up to where Joel and Ellie show up, and now everything's lined up. Oh, okay, that's why this happened. That's why. And then Joel puts in the last puzzle piece. Okay, that's why it was an '80s song, because Joel had it set up to where if it didn't reset, if he didn't reset it, it was going to automatically play an '80s song to be warning to let people know it's trouble. Then they find the note that Bill left, telling them, "Hey, don't go in the room. We dead. We left the window open so it won't stink up the house." But yeah, that's our tomb now. That's our tomb. And so you get to Ellie finally gets her gun, which was dope. I thought that was really well done. I'm gonna get back to that. So then, let me talk about the one scene that I forgot to talk about. When they're in the stash house and Joel's trying to find the supplies that he hid, and Ellie's off, and she stumbles upon the infected dude that's been crushed under all the bricks, and clearly he's not going nowhere. So she just goes over and messes with him and cuts open to his head, and you can see the way it's very creepy to me anytime they show the inside of the flesh and there's no blood and it's just fungus in there, and I'm like, that's crazy. And then she just stabs him in the eye. Anyway, fast forward back to the ending. Yeah, Ellie got the gun, they get the car battery, they put it together, they roll out, they get all the supplies they need, they roll out, and then the song that Bill had played on the piano for Frank, they play the tape, and then that's how it ended. It was a very good episode, and I love how it was great. It's getting high praises. The show continues to impress, man. This show continues to impress. I mean, they have set the goal, they have set the bar very high for the next video game show, whether it's on HBO or Amazon or whatever. Halo Season 2, you got your work cut out for you, man. and I'm somebody, not saying somebody that thought Halo Season 1 was pretty good. I thought it was pretty good. So we'll see what goes on with the rest of this season, but so far they're crushing it. So anyway, that's my review and discussion of The Last of Us Episode 3 on HBO Max. Let me know what you guys thought of this episode. Did you like it? Are you a fan of it? Are you feeling like it's been faithful to the game? Let me know. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Click those notifications so you know when we upload. Check out the travel vlogs. Always some cool stuff going on over there. Until next time, you know how we do. Peace.
I'ma go to the ends with you. I'ma go to the end with you. I'ma go.